Hello, John.
Hello, Albert.
And so today we're going to talk
How are
about
you?
cancer in Ireland, cancer statistics.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to
It's
read
a
you out.
serious. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to read you out some statistics. Okay, so 42,000 people get cancer every year. You have invasive cancer, which is a cancer that spreads. You have non-invasive, which is a cancer that's localized. Non-melanoma skin cancer is the most common type of cancer in Ireland. 24,000 invasive cancers are diagnosed every year. The top cancer in Ireland, which really surprised me, is skin cancer, 11,000 cases every year. Prostate is second, 3,900. Breast cancer, 3,500. Lung cancer, 2,590. And then number five is bowel cancer. 30% of deaths in Ireland are caused by cancer. That's 9,620 deaths per year from cancer. Currently in Ireland, there's 215,000 people living with cancer at the end of statistics for the end of 2021. 4 out of 10 cancers can be prevented, which is interesting to know. But what really surprised me there is that skin cancer, considering we're not, you would associate skin cancer maybe with the sun, and that's what really surprised me, that skin cancer is the top one there. And I'm wondering why, considering like we don't have a sunny climate, is it a case that the people are going on sunbeds, or I don't know, you know?
Correct. Yeah, probably sunbeds, which is considered very dangerous. And then maybe they're going to sunny climates and staying out the sun too much, because of our lack of very sunny weather here. You've got to be careful about sitting out in sun, because that's one of the dangers of skin cancer. But it's the fact that cancer of any kind is a very worrying thing for the person suffering from it. And I noticed that there was a figure there for children, that they leukemia is one of the things there, and that they can suffer. And I had a brother that suffered from leukemia, and he died at 13 years of age. So I'm familiar with that end of it, and also the lifestyle that people live. For example, smoking is a dangerous occupation, and the trouble is that young people that are in school that have had plenty of evidence of the danger of smoking are still indulging in it. So there's a certain amount of irresponsibility there, and I think it'll be up to the schools, the management, if they're fit to manage, should in some ways chastise those that are indulging in that. Freedom doesn't permit you to injure yourself and perhaps others, because people that smoke can affect others that don't smoke, um, as well. So that's one of the killers. And then the prostate is a problem with men, and that can come for a variety of reasons. But one wonders is what one eats, is the food a problem. So you've got to have a balanced diet, I think, and not be just vegetarian or some other thing. Just have a balanced diet, a mixture. And I think that's the good way. And of course, moderate habits, and not staying out late at night, because they used to say years ago, anybody out after 12 was up to no good. Now, that was an old fashioned saying. Don't forget, we had dances here years ago, and probably now in nightclubs, which would be a very unhealthy environment, until 2 in the morning, 3. So it didn't help that sort of a carry on. That if you wanted to meet somebody of the opposite sex, well, you needed to go to a dance. And you're out all hours. No, I never liked it. There was one place I used to go to, and it was over at half 11 or 12, and that suited very nicely. And so people were in, and it was an enjoyable sort of a thing, and that's what I liked. But in the country, you wouldn't have that kind of choice. You had it in the city, and I availed of that when I was younger. I just didn't fancy being out until 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, because you'd have to get up and go to work and you wouldn't be fit for it. So the social lifestyle in the 50s and 60s and 70s was not conducive to good health, to my way of thinking. Fortunately, I didn't avail of it too much, but more than I would have liked, if you get me drift. So I think a moderate lifestyle is the solution, assuming that you haven't got the thing already, even whether you don't smoke or drink. I know some individuals get it that don't smoke or drink, and one wonders how what it is it can be hereditary.
Can indeed, and I think, look, when it comes to food produce, I suppose the advice would be to buy as much organic as you possibly can. I remember about 2 years ago, I interviewed the buyer for vegetables for Dunn Stores, and I told him that I photographed every single vegetable inside in Dunn Stores, which I did one day, right? Because I wanted to see, what produce they're buying locally and what produce they're buying internationally. And I also wanted to find out the level of organic as versus chemical produce. But they really are, Dunn Stores are leading the way. Their veg is good quality. They have a very, very good organic section, which means there's no pesticides in your fruit and vegetables. So I think that's one
Yeah.
thing you could say to people, that, try to buy organic as much as possible. What really surprised me, I was doing research into food cereals, is the amount of pesticides in your breakfast cereal. There's quite a lot. So I'd like to.
You wouldn't, yeah, that's surprising. You think breakfast cereal would be immune from that kind of thing, but there you are. So that's news to me. So porridge then would be the safest answer there.
I don't know if it would. I mean, I'd like to see on cereals and porridge and all those things, to see what chemicals were used. Okay, there should be an advisory beside the ingredients, whatever, to see what level of pesticide is in a cereal, because I don't think you can say that any cereal is without pesticide, because they use it to control all these different types of um, fungi and various things, to protect the crop. So that's one thing. But and I suppose, look, as you were saying there, some people go out foreign and they kind of abuse the sun, in the sense that they're not used to getting a nice color. They want to go to Spain, France, they want to get a good color, and then they end up with problems with their skin. It really surprised me, as I said at the beginning, that it's skin cancer seemed to be a fairly high one, the highest one. Um,
Right.
But yeah, and I suppose cut down on the alcohol and try and quit smoking. There's a few basics there. It says that 4 out of 10 could be prevented.
Yes. Well, as regards sun, I we had a bungalow in Spain for 9 years, and we'd be there in from about September, October until the following about April thereabouts. And the weather was not as hot as it would be in the summer. But we didn't indulge in this business of sitting out. We went for swims and things like that, and walks. And it wasn't too hot at the times we were there. It was just nice enough. But we didn't spend our time kind of sitting out in it and that type of thing. And other people did, and I don't think it did them any good. So you've got to use the upstairs department and I try to be careful of the way you what you do. First of all, I think the essential thing is to respect yourself, respect the gifts that you have, and then use them wisely and in moderation. Moderation is the key. Now, you mentioned cereals, but I think like if you eat cereal, I don't think you're going to get cancer because you eat it in moderation in the morning. So would be very doubtful if you would, and especially porridge. So I wouldn't carry that one too far, Oliver, because And a good thing too is to drink some water in the morning, which I've done for a good few years. One time when we happened to read a book, maybe 25, 30 years ago, and it was one that my late wife got, and it had a funny title, How to Build Nerve Force or something like that. It was written by a nutritionist, and it had a great deal of advice about the type of thing you were talking about. And it mentioned that a lot of people would often suffer from toxins, and they need to go on about a 5 day starvation diet to get rid of the toxins. Now,
Hmm.
there's a solution. Nutritionists are pretty good at that type of thing. And so when you did that and drink, you know, we mentioned more water than you need, you wouldn't be drinking water, which as you might have said. But certainly in the beginning, when you put a toxins, you need to do that to clear out them toxins. And then I've always taken nearly a pint of water with some warm in it, and just squeeze a little bit of lemon, and that's considered good, and it has stood me in good stead at this past 25, 30 years. I do it all the time, every morning, without fail, unless I'm away somewhere, and then that's not available. But if I'm staying with anybody or when I'm in a friend's house, I always am able to avail of that. My good friend Eamon Connon, when I'm staying there, I have the usual, and he has lemon there, and so I'm able to do it. And I find that very helpful. And I make that suggestion for anyone that's not in the habit of doing that. Just take a pint of water in the morning, first thing, as you're having your cereal. Porridge I to have most of the time, and then I treat myself to cornflakes, a bit of muesli on a Sunday, and holidays and that type of thing. So that's what I do. And I think it stands to you. It's
Hmm.
sensible. And that's what I take. I don't take a slice of toast or nothing, or tea. I just have that and the water. And then I'm okay until I have my lunch. And then sometimes I just have a salad,
And when did you
you
actually
know. And
start taking the water in the morning?
yeah, I take a pint of a glass, a pint glass, and I put cold into it, say little more than half, and then I put hot water. I put a bit of lemon into it when it's like that, and then later on I put hot water into it from the kettle, and so I have that before I vamp it, and then I have my porridge, and that's all. And I do it with say in a pot, and then I put a bit of milk into it, and put shake a bit of salt around it as well. But sometimes you
Well, can I
can,
ask you,
you
John,
know.
can I ask you
Hmm?
how long you've been doing that?
I've been doing the business of the water for about the past 30 years.
30 years.
30 years. 30.
Wow. Okay. So it's actually because you're very, very healthy. So it's actually, it sounds like if somebody was to follow John Malone's way of life, because I mean, you've more energy than me. Um,
Yeah, well, there you are.
there's,
That's the beauty of it. And sort of, that's a good start. And then you don't be having whatever it is. I don't have any toast or anything in the morning like that. And then when I have my meal now, today I had salad. When I say salad, you buy it. It's already kind of established. And unfortunately, they put in too much those cucumbers, bits of cucumber, and that doesn't agree with me. So I just put it out. And it's only cost a few couple of euros in the super value that I go to, which is mostly in Kells. Sometimes I go here to Oldcastle, but they don't have just the variety that they have in Kells. And you get it, and this is it's only about €2 or something for. And funny enough, I had it today, and I have it tomorrow. Put it in a bowl, and then I add some orange to it. You know, peel an orange, and not the whole, that maybe half, and put it up and put it in, and then I put in some grapes, which I kind of cut, and put in that, and I put in something else, and then I have a bit of this kind of sauce, or this stuff that you can put on salad to put a bit of a flavour on it, because otherwise it's very not so good. But when I put that on it, it's very tasty, and I put it in a bowl. It's in a bowl, and then I have an hour of that. Then so I have half an hour left for tomorrow, and then on Sunday I treat myself to a dinner, and Monday as well, of course. But on Friday I do that type of thing, or else I have a hard boiled egg. I don't like them too soft, and a slice of toast. So on a Friday, that's the way I don't eat meat or anything like that on a Friday. And even at my age, I could, but I don't. But then if you're visiting somebody and they put it up to you, you're not going to be awkward. But people that know me would know that I might have a plate of beans or spaghetti and on a slice of toast, and that's what I have. And it's quite satisfying. You don't be hungry. You don't need to be eating big meals or anything like that. And if I'm in a restaurant and I'm getting a meal, it's not self-service. If it's self-service, I know what I can get. But if it comes out, I often have to just get and put half it in a little container. So then I have another meal at home so I get two meals out of it. So you don't overeat, kind of thing, and then it keeps you all right. It keeps your brain tickety boo.
Very good, John. When I was talking about the cereals earlier on there, I'm not suggesting that cereals are causing any problems. What I'm saying is, okay, that I did read an article that there is a lot of pesticides in cereals, okay? So my advice would be to buy all your food produce, if you can afford it, buy it organic, including cereals.
Yeah, I went to organic that. I must have a look at it. But I've managed to do all right with what I have so far. So it hasn't done me, thank God, any harm.
Hmm.
But the water in the morning is a good thing. With hot and not cold, it's obviously cold, but then you have a kettle and you spoil, and you put a little bit of lemon, and that's very good. That keeps you tickety boo, and it's enough water because you can overdo the water sometimes,
Hmm.
and you don't need to. I think that's suffices for yours truly. And then, for example, now when I was having my salad there today, I had water, and I put a bit of my waddy juice into it. Um, I have a nice one that I do. Pear is nice, and then my body, and then there's the other. I put a little drop of that in, and puts a flavour into it, and that's what I have. Because otherwise, just when I'm having my salad or
Hmm.
having something that I'm going to have water, that's the way I have it, and it's tasty.
Very good. Well, there's some advice for some people. There's some statistics. It's quite high statistics for cancer, but there you go. Hopefully,
It's too high.
there are like major improvements in the treatment of cancer. So that's the one of the upsides for the future.
That's good. Now, what about just before about that? As we were doing programs about restaurants and pubs, I mentioned that hours should be much more curtailed, and pubs as well. They don't need to be going by whatever the law permits. Open for a couple of hours in the morning, say 11:30 to 2, and have food, soup, and a sandwich or whatever it is they can have, a quiche Lorraine. These are simple things that they can do without having to have chefs and that kind of thing. They can do it, chefs, and a quiche Lorraine or a pizza. That's easy, and a half a pizza. The person doesn't want a big yolk, half or a quarter,
Hmm.
and maybe a little bit of salad with it or something like that. And as regards drink, when you're in the pub, you should be careful, to my way of thinking, and people not to be coming in just getting drunk. That'd be discouraged if I was running Ansel. It'd be a 2 point business, and then I'd be saying you better watch it. Don't
Yeah, so
overdo
look,
it.
I think what you're talking about there is that everything in moderation, and that's what you're talking about when you talk about the pub opening hours and closing hours.
Oh my work, and then and close about, and then close in the afternoon until about 6 in the evening, and then open from about 6 to about 9.
Yeah,
The same as they do abroad. And pubs and all. There's none of this open all hours like what I have here, and that could be affecting this cancer business because people are drinking too much. And now with the pandemic, they were drinking at home and perhaps too much. So it's moderation, isn't it? And as a matter of fact, a person shouldn't be drinking every day whatsoever. If they want to have a drink, it should be in moderation at the weekend or something. But if they want to point, because sometimes a person can have an alcoholic problem even if they're only drinking 2 pints a day, if it's consistent. So you've got to be informed, and school children especially need to be informed because they're smoking, and that should be completely disallowed. It should be a disciplinary matter, and that's that. Like it's freedom doesn't allow you to injure yourself and others, and smoking does not just injure yourself but injure others. That's not smoking. So that type of thing, and certainly the drug epidemic in this country is another cause of probably cancer and deaths and God knows what. So it's I think those that are in charge or in the health or what have you, it needs to take a more active role and prevention. And these ones that are apparently taking drugs, we were in Dublin there in the Botanic Gardens, and I think you noticed yourself when somebody passed, you get a smell of cannabis or whatever it was that they were taking. And I mean, that's in the middle of the day. We were there sort of early,
that's right.
and here we have this sort of situation, and that should be discouraged, and people should be stepped aside. If that's what you get the smell of it, and they should be dealt with there and then, and taken into some kind of health place that they can be told what they're at is going to cause them serious harm.
There we go. Thank you very much, John.
Welcome, Oliver. Bye.
And,